que muchas gracias por todo, abogadas, aquí por un sueño hecho realidad. A los 24 años de adquirir algo que me esperé tanto tiempo. Gracias a la abogada Marina, aquí es su patrón. Muchísimas gracias. Y le recomiendo que esta es realidad, un sueño que se me cumplió y estoy muy feliz. Y muy feliz. Gracias.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is an attorney advertisement. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Well, Spar and Bernstein has been nothing but great to me throughout my trials. I mean, it's 5 years into this car accident, and they never gave up on me, never. And in everything, they fought for me, and I am so proud to tell everyone, don't even wink for a moment. You, Spar and Bernstein, my lawyer here, Mr. Barack, has been a cage animal. He wanted to go on trial, but thank God we settled out of court, and it was something that I'm very, very happy about. So everyone, I'm telling you, I'm not just making stories up. You have to use this law firm. Spar and Bernstein is the best, worldwide best.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is your American dream?
My family is from Ecuador and I am from Chicago. My American dream is to be able to pay back my parents for everything they did for me.
I come from France and my American dream is to help every day the homeless. Merci à vous.
I am from Tunisia. My American dream is to see love and peace.
I was born in North Carolina, Rocky Mountain. My dream is to have peace, and that's it.
My parents are Guyanese, so I'm first generation American. My American dream is that we all get the same treatment, same laws, same education as everyone. That will be my American dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. The outcome of your divorce can affect you for the rest of your life. If you don't have the right attorney, you could literally be paid through the nose forever.
That's right, Brad. For example, did you know that half the money you put into your retirement during your marriage is up for grabs in your divorce? So a disagreement as to when your marriage exactly ended could cost you thousands of dollars from your hard-earned retirement fund. And let's say you bought a house together. Factors like who's paying the bills, who paid the down payment, and whether you're receiving rental income can all affect your settlement in huge ways.
If you're having family law issues, if you're having matrimonial issues, you need attorneys who are going to fight hard for you. Call the matrimonial department, the family law department here at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein.
This is an attorney advertisement. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
All of us are done through Mr. Bernstein. It started from my mom right up to the siblings. So we are so grateful for Mr. Bernstein. The ins and outs takes us almost 3 years.
And now you're with your children?
Yes, I'm with them.
How does it feel to be with your kids now?
Oh, it's joyful, joyful. So I'm heading on to the next phase now. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein.
Okay. What is your American dream?
I was born in New York. My American dream is music, and DJing is the one thing that I love.
My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in the Bronx. My American dream is to achieve success and prosperity through my hard work.
I am from India. I do hope that each one of us realize our own humanity and start helping each other succeed. We are all humanity, and that's the least we should be able to do.
I am from Poland. My American dreams be close to my kids and my grandkids, be happy, enjoy daily life. My dreams are very humble.
I'm from Suriname, South America. My American dream is to take advantage of opportunities to excel at my talents.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Now? Bingo! I got my Jamaican rum. I'm ready for a party. Brad told me not to drink at the office, but if you don't tell, I won't tell him. Kim! Belgian Kim! Where are the mixers? I can't drink this stuff straight. I'm just a groundhog. Now that I've had my drink, I can tell you what happened yesterday on the Brad and Squeeze show. Aviva Drescher came on. She's one of the Real Housewives of New York, the only one born and bred in New York City. And she talked to us about her family's immigration story and how she's the spokesperson for One Step Ahead, which helps amputees get prosthetic limbs. And Brad and Kim discussed which side is their best side. I don't know about them, but I know every side of myself is perfect. Happy Fat Tuesday, everybody!
This is Kim Moore from the Brad and Squeeze Show, and today we are on the Brooklyn Bridge asking New Yorkers questions about personal injury. Let's take a look at how they did. How long does a person have to file a personal injury lawsuit in New York City?
Can you say that again, please?
I believe that they have 5 years.
How long?
Yeah.
One more time.
How long?
I would say a person has around 5 years to file a personal complaint lawsuit against someone in New York.
I would say a person has 6 years.
I would say up to 2 years.
Do you know why?
No.
Months. Just months.
Just any number of months.
1 month.
There isn't 1 month to file a lawsuit against somebody for personal injuries. In fact, in the New York State, you have 3 years to file an action for personal injuries against that person.
If you're in traffic and the vehicle in front of you suddenly stops and you hit it, who's at fault?
I'm at fault if the vehicle in front stops and I hit it.
Why?
I was too close, or I wasn't paying attention.
I think I am at fault.
Do you know why?
Well, I believe our state law in California is that I would be likely at fault. I mean, it depends on other issues, but it probably means I'm following too close.
I don't know, and I never see nothing.
It might be my fault. Yeah, because maybe I was too close.
I would say that I was at fault because I would have gone into the back of the car.
If you don't know what happens when somebody short stops you, New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law requires all vehicles to maintain safe distances between each other. That means if the car in front of you short stops and you hit that person, you would likely be liable absent exceptional circumstances.
If you're in a motor vehicle accident and there's no damage to the vehicle, but you have headaches, is that something you're allowed to be compensated for?
I'm in that situation right now.
Headaches, I believe, would be covered.
Do you know why?
Well, it's probably connected to neurological damage or injury.
I would say they can receive compensation if their only symptom is headaches, because maybe they bumped their head or their brain shifted.
I would say yes, if they could prove it was a result of the collision. So.
No.
Do you know why?
You know my answer.
Many people in New York State think they can recover for any personal injury due to their motor vehicle accident. However, because of strict New York State threshold laws, you must suffer what's called a serious injury. Because New York has a serious injury threshold, you must show competent medical evidence that shows that you actually suffered a serious injury. Simple headache would not suffice.
If there's a motor vehicle collision that results in no damage to either vehicle, can a person still receive compensation for injury sustained?
That's kind of a hard question, but I would say yes.
I would say they could still sue for injuries sustained even if there's no damage done to the vehicle, because they could still have bodily injuries.
I know people do lie and say, oh, their back hurts, even if the car is not damaged. If a report is filed, I would say they have received mental or physical damage.
I absolutely believe you can.
I don't think it has anything to do with the vehicle. I think it has to do with your body parts.
You could try your luck maybe, but I don't think it'll go anywhere.
Yeah, I think you are in California.
Just because there's no damage to either motor vehicle in your collision doesn't mean that you can't recover for personal injuries.
If a person is caused to take time off work because they were in a car accident, do they get paid for that time off work? And if they do, who pays for it?
If he can't, like, he didn't have to pay for nothing, because like this is terrible something, like is not normal. So I think he's boss. He have to pay this.
Yes, you can be compensated for that time off, and the person who caused the motor vehicle accident would be the one to pay, or that person's insurance.
If there was a suit, the person responsible for the accident might pay, but I don't. Yeah, that would be the only thing I could think of.
Yes, I am going to get paid for it.
If you are forced to lose time from work as a result of your motor vehicle accident, you have nothing to worry about. You are covered up to $2,000 in lost wages per month.
What is the minimum legal bodily injury insurance that a motor vehicle driver has to have in New York City?
I do not know what the minimum driver insurance is in New York City.
The minimum amount, I would say 10,000.
Care to take a wild guess? It's a dollar figure. Wild guess it for me.
$5 maybe?
A lot of people don't know the answer to this question, but in the New York State, you're required to have a minimum of $25,000 in bodily injury coverage if you register your vehicle in the New York State. If you didn't know the answer to any of these questions, you have nothing to worry about. Here at Spar and Bernstein, we do the worrying for you. Contact the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. We're here for you.
Prior successful results do not guarantee similar outcome.
All right. So here I am. I'm on another page. Ha ha ha. Screwed everybody around. No one knows what's going on. Ha 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 ha. Because we're crazy today. What we said was we're going to screw with everybody. We're going to start our show on one page. We're going to shut it off and then start on another. No, that's really not what happened. I'll tell you what happened. We can thank the United States Olympic Committee because we were unaware. We have learned a very good lesson about Facebook. We were told by all the Facebook people that we are allowed to run a video of the woman twirling in circles 3 times and congratulating her as long as it was less than 10 seconds. That's not copyright infringement. Well, apparently we were told incorrectly. Because as soon as we ran the first one, we didn't have to run 3 of them, we get a notification from Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook who says, and it says, Mr. Bernstein, you have copyright infringed from the NBC Olympic telecast by putting a picture of or a video of the woman doing a triple Lindy, or whatever it's called. And because of that, we have now a big X, and they took us off the air for 3 hours as a penalty. Luckily for us, we've got other Facebook pages. All right, so that's what happened, unfortunately. So please let everybody know that just for tonight, we'll be broadcasting on the Brad and Squeeze page, the Brad San Squeeze page, and no one can comment on that other page for at least 3 more hours now. That's the penalty because we gave the video of the woman going like this for 6 seconds. So we have learned our lesson. We will never, ever, ever mention the O word. The O word. It's barred. Can't say it ever again. And the people at NBC, Luckily, I'm a professional here. So I thought I was promoting you, but okay, fine. So that's what happened. Do not watch NBC. I will not now. I'm barring NBC from all the employees. We're going to take it down off all the televisions here at Spar and Bernstein. That's what we are going to do. So that's what's there. So, what else we got? So, Mirai Nagusu, wonderful, congratulations, you did it. Thanks, Mirai Nagusu, telling your beautiful story. You had Facebook take us off. All right. And then it was very funny because I didn't realize we were still on YouTube. So you could always, watch us on YouTube. And then I said, what the F happened? What happened? What the F happened, Joe? All right, so that's what happened. Meanwhile, in other news, I was going to say this is the stupidest person of the night. But maybe we have some other nominees. But I was going to say the stupidest person of the night is, I read in the newspaper, the couple, that's right, boycott NBC. Take down the Bradson Squeeze show. Just because we were saying what a wonderful job she did. And I was going to say the nomination for stupidest person of the night, I think it's now me, for allowing us to put that video up. But I was going to say the stupid person of the night award goes to a couple, a guy by the name of Duncan Robb. He bought tickets for his fiance. He loves the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's the guy, I don't know if people know who it is. I don't even know what they sing, but I know the guy always is topless. He's got tattoos all over his body. He's playing the guitar. No, it's not Slash. Slash is from another band. Red Hot Chili Peppers is a different dude. So he wanted to go buy his fiance tickets for the Red Hot Chili Peppers in Ireland. Proposed to his fiance because they love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but he did not, and he took a trip all the way to Ireland with his tickets for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But instead, he did not go to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He went to the Red Hot Chili Pipers, the most famous, I can't make this stuff up, we found it on the web, the most famous bagpipe band on the planet, or so their website claims. So Rob went to, this guy Duncan Robb went to go all the way to Ireland to bring his fiance to the Red Hot Chili Peppers to get engaged. Honey, will you marry me? And they show up, instead of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Pipers, which is a bagpipe band. The Irish dudes who are in the kilts with the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. 1 second. With the kilts and the ba-ba-ba, with that thing. So, Flea, that's the guy's name, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I would play their music, but I think NBC Universal would take us down again. They'll say, no, that's part of the Olympics too. So we won't. Just hum the song in your head. You'll get the idea. So they went to the Red Hot Chili Pipers instead of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And as a result, we were going to nominate them the dumbest people of the night. But I think the nomination really goes to me for getting kicked off my own show by NBC Universal. All right, so what else is happening? Let's go to immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. I'm tired of talking about the news. We're already 45 minutes into a show that hasn't even started yet. So let's get into immigration. Damien in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Damien.
Squeeze. Squeeze.
Brad, what's up?
Greetings.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, Brad, listen on. I want to really, this is not really a question.
Okay.
I just called to big you up. Now, okay. I'll explain.
Tell me.
I have been listening to you for a while now.
Right.
For years. I've been here approximately close to 14 years now. Mm-hmm. And I came good, so I never needed your service. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? There's lots of people who come good who still need it just because you...
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm a citizen now. But right. I have sent a lot of people to you. I have recommended you.
Thank you.
I have, and you personally, you have helped 3 of my friends.
Thank you very
Personal
much.
friends, I mean close friends.
Thank you.
That were in big, big trouble.
Right.
And I remember the first one, when I sent him to you, he did not come. And when he realized that he was in big trouble, he came. You took care of him, and he's good, and he's a citizen now.
Wonderful.
Another female friend of mine, you help her, and then another one you helped her to.
Great.
God rest her soul. She passed. Not so long
Thank you.
ago,
Thank
she
you.
was suffering from
I am
cancer.
thanking you
But
from the
glad.
God in my heart for calling. Thank you.
But big up yourself, man.
Thank you.
Big up yourself,
Thank you.
and big up the practice, and big
Thank
up all you do. You know.
Thank you. Thank
One
you.
love, Bridget.
That's,
One love.
That's it.
Yes,
You
man.
just
I'm
wanted to
big
make
up
a
yourself,
statement
big up,
and
Bridget,
say you're
stay
unbelievable.
true to who you are, Bridget. Just continue to help people who need help.
Damien, you made my day because I was so annoyed about what happened before. We got kicked off the air, and now we're on a different.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're good.
My 12-year-old found you on YouTube.
We're back. They
You know what
found
I mean?
Did you see me saying F on YouTube? I didn't realize. I don't like to curse. But I was cursing up a storm.
Thank you for all you do. Continue to do. I wish you a good life, man. And big up Squeeze, and we're not there, but big him up to him. Big up everybody in the office too, man.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you. Appreciate it.
One love, Virgin, and hopefully one day I'll meet you, man. You don't forget Damien from Bridgeport, all right?
Damien, by the way, we have an office up in Hartford now. You can send if people don't want to schlep down to New York. We got an office in Hartford.
See, I didn't know that.
Yes, I'm glad you called.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah,
Thank
on
you for telling me
Congress
that.
Street, 1 Congress Street, 4th floor.
Thank you very much.
All right.
From time to time, people asking me, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. You're the best, Damien.
All right. One
Thank
love.
you.
Cool,
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Molly in Brooklyn, New York. Molly. And by the way, you can call 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465.
Hi, good night.
Hi, Molly.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
My mother is the legal guardian of my child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me to file for her, can I still go through that process, or do I have to go back to the courts first?
Your mother is the legal guardian, but you want to file for your child? She's still your child,
Yeah.
absolutely. She did, as long as your mom didn't do an adoption, it's perfectly fine. You can file for her.
Okay.
All right. Where is she now? Where is she now?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah. By all means, go file for her.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 1-800-529-5465. We have a total of 0. I can't even do this right. 0? Is that how you make the 0? Where you go like that? I guess that's A-OK. I guess 0. This is binoculars? I don't know. We have a total of 0 people on hold. We don't have a lot of people watching us. We've been kicked off of Facebook. It's an absolute disaster tonight, which is the perfect time to call me for your help because I'm going to spend a lot of time with you. Or maybe I'll give you a whole 30-minute consultation. Who knows? We don't have a lot of people to talk to. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. It's one of those nights where I think I'm going to move this way because it's one of those nights where I think like where I'm going to sit under the ceiling and the whole ceiling will just fall right on my head. Or maybe I should move back this way because then, my luck, I'll move there and that's where the ceiling will fall. I don't know. 1-800-529-5465. Lisa Bling Rose wants to know where Carol is. I don't know, Lisa. Where is Carol? Where is Carol? Would somebody please call Carol and tell her where we are? And Wendy Brown says, hi, Stacy. And Carrie Ann is clapping and laughing. All right, Patrice. She's our social media stand-in. She's more than a stand-in. She
Remember
is.
when you want to stack up?
Hello, Patrice.
Hello.
Why is Jill getting in every shot?
Hello. What?
Hello. Jill is in every shot. It's one of those nights, Patrice. It's one of those crazy nights. I'm like, wait, Jill was just in that shot. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. We are. Sharon from Long Island called. So what I'm going to ask is, Patrice, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to what we call this a show. Okay. And please tell everybody because right now I can't share this anywhere. NBC Universal has screwed us for the next 3 hours, Patrice. So I can't even share this anywhere. So everybody, I now have to rely on the Brad Squad and Team Squeeze to please share with us. Okay?
Yes,
we will
please.
never, ever, ever mention the O word ever. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Do not even stop thinking about it, Patrice. You're thinking about it. Stop it.
I'm not.
I'm gonna go to Sharon in Long Island. I want you to get your head in the game and stop thinking about the Olympic. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Okay, I said it. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me go to Sharon in Long Island, who's waiting.
Okay.
I want everybody to say hello to Patrice. Everybody knows you anyway, right?
Yeah.
They all know you. They all know who you are, right? So Patrice is going to read all our social media today because Belgium Kim is off to her class. And I'm a good boss, so I let her off to the class. You look beautiful tonight, by the way, Patrice.
Thank you,
Yes,
Brad.
Ricardo should be very, very happy.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, God.
All right, you knew I was going to say that, right?
I knew it. I was waiting for it. For it.
I would never say that word ever. Don't say the R word, right? No, he's a good guy.
No.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. All right, so let's do this. I'm just like in a crazy mood today because I'm all annoyed, but we still have to help people, okay? So let me go speak to Sharon, who's waiting in Long Island. I'm going to say Aviva Drescher to you for about 2 minutes. Then I want you to collect all of your questions on Facebook and social media. And then we're going to be answering your questions. Everybody out there in Facebook land, say hello to Patrice. She was so nervous to come on our show today. I had to, give her a lot of encouragement to come on, and she does a great job. So please say hello to her. Treat her nicely. Let me go to Sharon, and then we're going to come back to Patrice. Sharon.
Hi, good night.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. I have a question.
Yeah.
If I file for my mother and she comes to the United States, how long does she have to stay before returning to her country?
One day. One day.
Oh, she just has to stay here for 1 day and she can go back?
Yeah, but how long is she going back is the real question.
Okay, right. So how long can she stay out of the U.S. then?
6 months.
6 months.
But she can't come for, but she can't, 1 second. She can't come for 1 day, go home for 6 months, and then expect to come back for a day and then go home for 6 months.
Of course not, no.
She has to, over the course of her life, she can't stay out of the country for more than 6 months at a time, and she has to be physically in the United States more than elsewhere.
Okay, great.
But what people do is sometimes they get their green cards, they come up and they have unfinished business, go home, come back, it's fine. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. 1-800-529-5465. I'm going to ask everybody to kindly share this with your friends and family. I can't share anything. Facebook and NBC Universal Studios, in conjunction with the U.S. Olympic team, has shut down the Brad Squeeze show on the Spar and Bernstein page until 8:45 this evening. So we can't share with anybody. But what we can do is ask everybody else to share. We went back live on the backup plan, because we have multiple pages, and here we are. It has been some roller coaster ride so far. It's been like that. So, yeah, Barbara Lord, I need some duct tape. Can you imagine? I do a whole entire show with duct tape. Barbara Lord says, just duct tape me up. It's one of those nights. Where's the gopher with the alcohol? I think I need to start drinking on the show here. Let's go to Connie in Tampa, Florida. Connie,
Hi,
what's
Brad.
up? My head is spinning today.
Love the show, and
Thank
I
you.
saw an opportunity to call in.
Thank you. What's
I
up?
had 2 or 3 questions since you didn't have anybody. First is, my husband has some legal trouble, but he's a green card holder.
Right.
And we are scheduled to take a cruise, however, in October.
What's his legal trouble?
Would you advise that? He has a felony.
For what?
It doesn't involve any drugs or anything, or any violence or anything.
If you have a felony, do not get on a cruise. Do not do it. Do not do it. You're going in October, you said?
Yes.
All right, so you're way off. Why don't we start? What about becoming a citizen? Is that possible?
We want to, but it's only been this will be 4 years. He's still got one more year. I was going to ask that's the second part.
Was his
We're caught up with this Trump thing, and I'm wondering what to do.
Was his felony before or after he got his green card?
After.
No, do not.
Years after.
Do not. Well, years after. He's only had a green card for 4 years.
No, he's had it for a long time, but I'm saying it happened about 5. He'd already had a green card, but then he got in a third-degree incident.
A third-degree incident. Okay, so let me. I don't know what that means, but let me say this. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's third-degree
assault.
No. He didn't. It was something really crazy that really should have never even went.
Well, if you don't want,
we want to get advice from you.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to share it. Okay, fine. Okay. All right. So my advice is this. Okay, stay on hold. If you have a conviction, you should not be traveling in Donald Trump era. Okay. What you should be doing is have a consultation with me. Prior to the consultation, if you don't what I would need to do is I need to see 2 documents before the consultation. I need to see a copy of his green card, and I need to see the disposition. The disposition is a letter you get from the court that says, this is what you're arrested for, this is what you were found guilty of, and this is your punishment. And what you do is you're in Tampa, Florida. You schedule the consultation. You email up those documents to me. I'll look at it before the consultation. Then we'll have our consultation, and then I'll tell you what to do.
Okay, because it's been settled almost 3 years now, 4 years ago. Okay.
Because just because it's a felony doesn't mean it's an aggravated felony, but it still could prevent him from re-entering. You don't want to put him in deportation, for a cruise.
No, I don't.
Right.
I do not. Right. And we do want to get a consultation with you. And we have several complications because also, real quick, somebody used his identification to file taxes years ago. But we have proof of that from the IRS. They gave him a PIN number.
That's all fixed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right,
that won't affect him anything.
No. It's the felony. Hold on 1 second, okay? All right. Wait, I got to press the button here. There we go. All right, let's go to Parry in Brooklyn. Parry?
Hello?
How are you, Parry?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Brett?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, I have a question, please. I have 2 U.S.-born kids here. And, and I'm living here for 2 years.
Right.
So, could we eligible for DAPA? Because I don't know what is DAPA and what's the criteria of DAPA.
DAPA?
Yeah, DAPA.
Okay, well, DAPA was Deferred Action for Parent Arrivals. It's something that President Obama passed, but it never went into effect. And the reason it never went into effect is that the state attorney from Texas sued Obama, said he overstepped his bounds as the President of the United States. DAPA was for parents of U.S. citizens. So children who were born here, their parents would not be deported and be able to get a work permit. But it never went into effect because the courts overturned what Obama did. So for all intents and purposes, DAPA doesn't exist.
Sorry for bothering you. Oh, yeah.
You're not bothering me, by the way.
No, actually, my kids is coughing, so that's why.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm sorry, I'm from Pakistan.
You're from Pakistan originally, calling from Brooklyn. All right, so it sounds like you're out of status and you need a green card. So I think what you need to do is have a consultation with me. You're in Brooklyn. You come right across the river, and let's see what we can do to help you, okay?
I called you before, I think one month or 2 weeks ago. And and then you said, I called I said that I'm a asylum seeker, and you.
I think at this point, now it's your second time calling, and you have filed for asylum. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Come see me, and let's go through everything. It's
Okay.
worth it. I'll tell you why it's worth it, okay? Because right now, every day you sit home, and you're full of anxiety, you're scared, you don't know what to do, and obviously you're calling into the show because you're not 100% certain what's going on and what you should be doing. I can tell you that I can help you so much more by sitting face to face with you than talking to you for a few minutes on the show. Okay, I think at the bare minimum you'd know what's going on and feel a little more at ease. So hold on 1 second, okay? All right. 1-800-529-5465. As Curry Ann Wallace says, go see Brad, lady. Exactly. 1-800-529-5465. Who's Jonathan Richards? Good night, Denisha. Jonathan Richards saying hello to Denisha. They trying to make making a match there, Jonathan? How do you know Denisha? John. Maybe Jonathan wants to see a little SMG. Let's find Patrice. Patrice. Hello.
Hello.
You want to say hello to anybody out there in Facebook land?
Yes, hello everyone, and a big shout out to my dad, Jonathan Richards, who is watching right now and is a loyal fan.
See, I didn't know who he was actually, and then I see him saying hello to all the ladies. So I'm like, look at this Jonathan Richards saying hello to all the ladies there. So I'm like, I don't know, can you imagine like the Bradson Squeeze Show takes over for Tinder? Like everyone just comes and like finds dates on the Bradson Squeeze Show. You never know. You never know. But now I know who Jonathan Richards is. He's just watching because his daughter's on today, right?
No, he's a loyal fan.
He's a loyal fan? Oh, he watches all the time. You know what happens a lot is, today's show is a bit slower because we don't have the calls volume. Usually we have like 10, 12 calls and the questions are coming fast and furious. So I don't have the time to watch people's comments coming through because there's so much going on. Today's a bit slower of a show because we're on the Brad and Squeeze Show page and we're not able to share it to any of our other pages. So unless you know to watch on the Brad and Squeeze Show page, nobody knows about this. So we have a lot less viewers today. So it gives me an opportunity to actually, as I'm talking, read what's going on. It's actually a little fun. So I'm like, oh, look at this guy. I'm like, look at this guy, Jonathan Richards, making his move, saying hello to all the women.
Oh my goodness.
And Lisa Blig Rose wants to know what I'm drinking today. It is called Vitamin Zero. All right, am I allowed to give a free commercial to Vitamin Zero without being taken off the air? I don't know. Can you imagine, Brad? We just got a call from Vitamin Zero. You cannot. Me and the Lisa Bling Rose, me and the groundhog were drinking in my room. No, we were not. I'm actually punch drunk from what happened.
That was great. Yes,
Groundhog
Sam was just having his own party.
Yeah. Groundhog was having his own party. I actually am, in all honesty, quite sober. I'm a little punch drunk from starting the show on one page, and then what did we do wrong? We showed a 3-second clip of the Olympics, and now Facebook says we committed the crime of the century. So I'm a little punch drunk from that. And you can't, I'm a good lawyer, and I can sit there and argue with them, but I can't sit there and argue with them and do a live show at the same time. So it's one or the other. So I said, should I call them up and scream at them, or should I go and do a show somewhere else? Right?
Yeah. So we're doing the show.
So we're doing the show somewhere else, right? Because that's all I can do. All right. Exactly. So the show must go on. Excuse me, Mr. Bernstein, you have copyrighted that song, and
we just can't do anything.
Can't do anything right anymore. Yes, Cordella. I think it was a lot of coffee. That's for sure. That I admit. It was a lot of coffee.
Oh my goodness.
I had a lot of coffee today. That is for sure. All right, let's go.
Let's get to it. Okay.
Let's get to it.
Beverly Ford. While filing for my daughter, do I need to do a separate I-130 for my underage granddaughters too?
Say that again?
Yes. When filing for my daughter, do I need to do a separate I-130 for my underage daughters too? Granddaughters?
No, you don't.
Okay. Tamara Walker, and a special shout out to Tamara Walker. She said, "Hello, Patrice. A friend of mine came to us.
Why does she get a special shout out? Why come nobody else does?
confused because one of our viewers is like, Patrice, you're beautiful, and then she asked the question.
Yes, Patrice is beautiful. So is Belgium Kim is beautiful. Belgium Kim has been stepping it up lately. She's been looking. Yeah. She's been looking. I even saw the other day somebody goes, Kim, you looking fine. Did you see that comment? Kim was like, you're looking fine. I think everybody's stepping. The only one who's not stepping it up is me. I gotta start stepping it up myself.
No, you got sharp shit. You're
but you want to know what I noticed. You know, I have gained a little weight, Patrice. I have noticed it. I have. If you go back and look at the shows from the summer, okay, and when we did the Braducation to now, you can see, you know, there's this.
Oh, I see.
Which you don't see, but so everyone's stepping it up at me.
Right. I'll step it up with you.
All right, we're gonna diet together?
Yeah, we're gonna diet together.
Yes?
Let's go to the gym. Right downstairs.
Go to the gym, diet.
Got it.
All right. I can totally see you, like, as I'm, you know, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as I'm like shoving the truck with donuts in my face. You're like, Brad, give me that.
You're not allowed
You're not allowed to have that. You would be literally ripping the donuts out of my mouth.
We gotta help each other out. All right. So here we go. So
let's go.
Sarah Walker, right? Hello, Patrice. A friend of mine came to the U.S. on a passport in 2004, and it was not hers. She was sent back to the airport. What is her chances of getting a visa to visit the U.S.?
Zero.
The Canadian citizen.
It doesn't matter. Zero. You got deported at the airport for a fraudulent document. That's misrepresentation for life. Maybe, perhaps, if she gets married to somebody, they can do a waiver. But in terms of getting another visitor's visa or trying to get a visitor's visa, I mean, unless they're coming, you know, to, get their Grammy Award or something, you know, they would have to have a really, really good reason to get a waiver approved. Not just to come visit and see Disney World.
Carly Freeman, if an American is living in another country and gets married, can he file for his wife from there or wait until he returns to America? Is his child a citizen, an automatic citizen, if born there as well? I believe.
The answer is you can file from there. You still have to file the I-130 stateside first. But as long as you have the intention of returning with her, there's no reason to return without her. So you file for her, and when you go to the interview, as long as the facts are something like, yes, the whole family is moving back to the United States, they'll give her the green card. Your son is a U.S. citizen if the son was born to a U.S. citizen in another country, and the U.S. citizen can prove that for 10 years prior to the son's birth, at some point over the age of 14, that the U.S. citizen parent was living in the United States. So let's say you lived in the United States from 15 to 25, and then at age 26, and that whole time you were a U.S. citizen, and at age 26 you moved to Jamaica, and at age 30 this child is born. That child's a U.S. citizen because you have 10 years living in the United States as a U.S. citizen over the age of 14 prior to the child's birth.
Trey Wilson, how long does it take if a green card holder petition for you when you live in the U.S.?
Say it again.
Yes. How long does it take if a green card holder petition for you while you live in the U.S.? Sorry.
About a year and a half. Year and a half to 2 years.
About a year and a half. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Trey Wilson. Sorry for the confusion.
By the way, this thing is like I think it's alive. It keeps
does it have a mind of its own?
It's like a mind of its own. Like I keep fixing it, and then all of a sudden it's like flopping over. It's coming out. I don't understand what's in here that just
I don't know what's going on today.
I don't know. This is like a crazy day today.
It's a crazy day.
That's why I said I wanted to move my chair. I think the ceiling's going to collapse on my head.
No, we can't. We cannot.
No, you don't want that to happen. Right.
Okay. San K. Wyatt. Yes, she's the one like, hi, Patrice, you're beautiful. Thank you so much. My question is, if you marry a person twice and divorced and remarry the same person, can you file for him?
Yes. But what happened in between? So in other words, you were married to somebody, then you got divorced. Usually, you know, what's popping in my head is, did you marry somebody else to get a green card? And then you became a citizen, and then you divorced spouse number 2, and now you're going back to marry spouse number 1 to get a green card? You're allowed to fall in love fall out of love, fall back in love again. But certainly there's going to be a lot of questions. If that's the question I'm asking, that they're asking, if it happens in real life. You remember Elizabeth Taylor? You know who she is?
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, she was married to 7 different men. 2 of her marriages was to the same man, Richard Burden. And Richard Burden didn't need a green card. He was born in America. So it happens. I think Richard Burden was marriage number 4 and 6. So there's lots of instances where people have gotten divorced and remarry again, and in between there was a relationship. It does happen. I'm just saying immigration is going to have a lot of questions to ask you.
Okay. So Stephen Sanders has a question from Facebook. What if you marry a Jamaican while they are on vacation here in the States? Do they have to return home or can they stay?
As long as you're married after 90 days of their coming here, they can stay and get their green card here.
Marjorie Cohen, good evening. I have hired your firm to handle my case to respond to my RFE. This was done within the time frame specified. The problem is I will become out of status on February 17th, thereby affecting everything. My driver's license and my state job, including that will be affected. The only time available with InfoPass to get a stamp is February 27th, which is too far off. Please, please, please help.
Is this an RFE to remove the conditions of your permanent residence? If it is, you're a permanent resident every day. Don't worry about it. You can get your stamp on the 28th. That's what I believe. Okay? So there's never going to be a day that you're not a permanent resident. You are always a permanent resident. If you have an issue with your state job, they have to give you at least 90 days to bring in the proper documentation. So if your green card expires on February 17th, and you can get the stamp on the 28th. Don't worry, no sweat. If I believe my recollection is what she's doing.
All right. Okay, so I'm giving you a little bit more information on that too. And Carlos Estrella, for B and C felony and 7th degree misdemeanor, my whole family is American citizens. And now I'm just asking because a guy that was deported from over there gave him a 10-year visa. I'm confused by this question. For a B and C felony, 7th degree demeanor, my whole family
Carlos
is
has been watching us for a year and a half. I know Carlos. He's in the DR. Carlos Estrella. If this is a guy in the DR, I know this guy. He has been part of the Brad Squad since the beginning of time, and then all of a sudden he was like the biggest commenter in the world once we went on Facebook with our telephones, and then and so Carlos was our buddy on the show every day. Okay, he probably made more comments than Jeff Bossi. By the way, where's Jeff Bossi? He's not even here today. He doesn't even know what happened.
I don't see Jeff.
Yeah, no, I don't see Jeff either. So, any event, so he was like one of our biggest commenters, Carlos Estrella, if this is the same guy I'm thinking about. And then one day, we never heard from him again. And then just in the last week, I've seen him starting to comment. If you got deported, it's very difficult to get a visa. I'm not sure why this guy got a visa. I would need to know more information, Carlos, about this guy, though.
We need more information.
More info.
Okay, Sharon.
Jeff Bossi.
Where's Jeff? Jeff's in the building.
He says, "I'm back and I'm not black."
Oh, Jeff! We thought we lost you.
Yeah, I thought he left because he hasn't made a comment in a long time.
Welcome, Jeff. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharon Seepersad. My granddaughter is a U.S. citizen. She's been living out of the U.S. for 7 years. Will she be able to come back to the U.S. to live without any problems?
As a U.S. citizen, absolutely.
Yes, a U.S. citizen. Carlos. Sabrina Blessing.
Carlos has more questions. It's the same Carlos with more questions?
No. Carlos we got Carlos in. So Sabrina Blessing.
Sabrina Blessing. Got it.
This is a long one.
Right.
Asked a question 2 days ago about my brother. He was coming into the country when they are taking him into a room and ask him a bunch of questions if you have worked here before, and you tell them no, but the only thing is he is a 2L 2L stepfather removed. This is very difficult, Brad. I'm very sorry.
All right, just read it verbatim, and then we're going to throw it in our Facebook to Google Translator. Facebook to English Translator, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so read it verbatim, and let me figure out if the translator can figure out the question.
Okay. Actually, can I go to Millie? Millie just popped up too. We have a question for Millie.
Ask Millie, then take a deep breath and go back to the other one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Millie, I applied for a visa in 2014 and was denied. Applied again in 2015, the same thing. In 2014, I used my current spouse name and info. 2015, when I was applying, I was told by the agent to state that I was in a relationship because most of the time when we were state our significant other is overseas, they think we are planning on running off, etc. So I used an ex name to say we were in a relationship. Anyway, now my spouse, I used his name in 2014 and engaged. What problems will it cost me if we should look about a fiance visa, or better yet, getting married? Should I start filing? Mind you, I haven't applied again.
Do not do anything. Don't pass go. Don't. It sounds like you're giving a whole bunch of different stories to the U.S. Embassy. Guess what? All those stories may come back to haunt you. Okay? You're in a relationship with this person, you're in a relationship, and now all of a sudden now you're fiance. I don't even understand which stories you gave to who, when, and where. Okay? So before you do anything, and because you're saying, I use these names, I don't even know what use these names mean. Okay? I don't get it. Before you do anything, stop in your tracks. Let's have a consultation where it's a one-on-one consultation with an attorney in a privileged situation, and let's see what you said and if you stuck your foot in your mouth and if you need waivers or you don't need waivers. I'm not sure. Say no more right now. Okay, you ready for our Facebook to English translation?
Yes, I
Okay,
think so.
so you'll give the Facebook version of it.
Yes. Okay. So Sabrina's saying that she asked this question 2 days ago about her brother who was coming into the country, and somehow he was placed into a room. They asked him a bunch of questions about where he worked, and basically she's saying. They told him the only thing that he has to do, he has a 2L. His stepfather removed to she-struck from. This is very hard, Brett. I'm so sorry. This is really difficult for me. This is extremely difficult. The stepfather moved T-Truck from his truck to put in his basement, and they have been away 5 years from his 10-year visa, and so this is difficult. I'm so sorry. This is really hard for me.
Just read it exactly what they say.
I am, but it just sounds confusing. Tonight, so I asked the question.
Just read it exactly. In other words, if it says,
literally,
John is boy, car, cow, yellow, just read it exactly like that. John is boy, car, yellow, whatever, and then I'll see if I can figure it out.
I will. I'm literally reading word for word right now.
Word for word now. You ready? Let's start again.
I'm ready.
I am listening.
I asked a question 2 days ago about my brother. He was coming to a country when they take him into a room and ask him a bunch of questions. If you've worked here before, and you tell them no, the only thing that he is 2L is stepfather removed to she-rock from his truck to put in his basement, and they have taken away 5 years from his 10-year visa. So the 5 year is now up. What options does he have to travel again? Is there anything that could be done for him to visit to the U.S. in Miami? Did he have to return a ticket to go back home, but they sent him back home the next day? They kept him locked up in a room for the whole day.
All right. Got it. I just put it in the translator. Got it. All right. So this is what happened. I know. This is what the translator said. Okay. This guy came up to the United States. He was coming on a visitor's visa. They brought him into a secondary room. Yep, I'm just reading the translator. They brought him into the secondary room. They say, hey, you're coming here to visit. You working in the United States? He says, well, I helped my uncle move sheetrock from a basement somewhere else. And they say, aha, you worked. You're lying. Misrepresentation. You can't come on a visitor's visa to work. Get the hell out of this country. And they kept him overnight. They bought him a plane ticket and they sent him home. And that was 5 years ago. See, I got it. The translator got it. I told you, just read it verbatim. I got it. So now now they sent him home, and now he has his 5 years has been up because he has a summary exclusion, summary inadmissibility. Now they call it 5 years. You can't reapply. Problem is, he made a misrepresentation on the visitor's visa. He admitted to working, even if it was just literally helping his uncle move sheetrock. Okay? And then as a result of that, he has a permanent bar. So he has a 5-year bar on the deportation and a permanent bar. So he needs a way to figure out how to get a green card and at the same time be able to get a waiver. That's what he needs to do. They're not going to give him a visitor's visa again. So I think either the person who wrote the question or the kid in Jamaica, or maybe he's not a kid now, maybe he's my age for all I know, I have no idea, needs to have a consultation, and we'll see what we can do to help. See, I told you, just read it verbatim, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you're right, Brad. You're right.
What else?
Okay.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
You're right.
You're right.
You are. Okay. Tamara Walker asked again, what is the cost for a phone consultation, and what is your means of getting that cash? Getting the cash.
What are the means of me getting the cash?
Yes. What are the means of you getting the cash?
All right. So you can pay by credit card or debit card online. You can go to www.lawsb.com, put your credit card information in or debit card information. You can pay by PayPal. You can send us a check or money order in the mail. The fee for a phone consultation is $150.
Yeah, there's your answer.
There's your answer.
Margarine has a follow-up. So what do I need to renew my driver's license tomorrow? Margarine, you had a follow-up question.
She would need the stamp in her passport because she's going to have a hard time renewing her driver's license if her green card's up in 3 days. So get the stamp in your passport, then renew the driver's license. I mean, you can try to go down, but my concern is you don't have anything to show that's not going to expire in the next 3 days.
Dwight Drummond, I have a question. October, 2 years since I've gotten. It's been October. It's been 2 years since I've gotten my October. 2 years since I got my 2-year green card, and I still do not get my permanent green card. Can I file on my citizen? Can I file for citizen?
Yeah, as long as you have a straightforward I-751, why not? If you have a problematic case, I would wait.
Okay. And I think that's all we have.
That's all we got right now. There it is. Great job, Patrice. Great job. I am sure Jonathan Richards will tell you great job as well. Jonathan Richards, great job raising your daughter. Let's give it up for Jonathan Richards. Yeah! All right, so leave your questions on Facebook. We're going to come back to Patrice, our standard social media guru, at the end of our show. Right now, I had the pleasure earlier in the day of speaking to a gentleman, Enrique Morones. Enrique Morones, if everybody remembers, was previously on our show, and he's the person who goes around on the border, Mexican-United States border, and leaves water for people who are running across the border so that they don't really dehydrate and actually get killed in the desert. It gets very hot, and literally people die trying to cross the border. So he leaves water for them on the trails to allow them to survive as they enter without inspection across the border. Some people say that he is encouraging illegal immigration. I say, and he says, and I agree, he's saving lives. Because they're going to come whether he puts the water there or not. And at least he's helping to save their life. We have him back on the phone earlier today. We spoke with him because there's been news reports coming out that ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, is literally finding the water on the trails and destroying it, making that these people will actually die of thirst crossing the border. Let's hear what Enrique has to say, what's going on the border. He was with us previously, Enrique Morones. He's the founder and director of Border Angels. It's an all-volunteer, non-for-profit organization that advocates for human rights, humane immigration reform, and social justice, with special focus on the U.S.-Mexican border. Enrique, can you expand a little bit about this?
Sure. Well, I'm glad to be back. For 20 years now, we've been putting water out in the desert. So as migrants are crossing, the only way they can, because they don't get, there's no visas for them. Right. They don't qualify for visas.
Right.
So they risk their lives crossing through the desert. They cannot carry enough water, and sadly, people die on a regular basis. 11,000 people have died since the wall was originally put up in 1994. So we started putting water out there to save people's lives, and thanks to Border Angels and other groups, we know we've saved a lot of lives, and we continue to do that today, especially after the hate messages and the hate direction that the country is going in because of Trump. So we've been very, very active out there, and we continue to put water out there today.
Well, I think it's a great organization because it has nothing to do with helping to bring people here illegally. It's about saving lives and being humane about it. Recently, there was a group, No More Deaths, based in Tucson, Arizona. They had posted a video of Border Patrol agents literally destroying water that you may have or similar groups may have put out there to help immigrants who are crossing over. What do you have to say about this, and what's going on with all of this?
Sure. So No More Deaths is, in my opinion, the best organization that puts water out there. They started maybe about 12 or 14 years ago. They asked me to go to Tucson to show them how we did it, because we had been around for a long time.
Right.
So they do a similar thing. They go out there and they put gallons of water, so as people are crossing, they don't die. And normally you don't see the people; you just leave the water. So they were suspecting that there was something going on with their water containers, like ours. Somebody slashing them, cutting them open with knives, and they didn't know who it was. They suspected it might be Border Patrol, but they put some motion-activated cameras so nobody would know the cameras were there. So as the people would approach the water, they could take a picture of them, whether it was somebody getting a water or whether it was somebody that was damaging the water bottle. And that's when they caught in action the Border Patrol slashing open the water bottles, kicking over the water bottles. A few of the agents were doing that, which is absolutely horrific because when you or I say we're dying of thirst, it's just an expression.
Right.
The people that drink this water really are dying of thirst.
You're 100%.
And they have that water empty because, that's a horrific situation.
It is a horrific. And now the video that we just saw, this was video taken by the secret camera that was left out by the No More Deaths organization. Is that correct?
That is correct. And that's actually old video. The reason they put it out again was because once again they've seen an increase in water bottles being sabotaged, as we have out here in California also.
Now there are some people have been arrested for leaving water out to help migrants who are crossing over the border. Can you tell us about those arrests and why were they arrested? What was the crime that they committed?
Apparently, in Arizona, there's some people that think that providing humanitarian aid is a crime. Of course, that is not a crime. But there was a professor from Arizona State University that was arrested, and it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They've done this there before. Before there was 2 students that had been arrested and detained for a while.
Who actually arrested them?
It was under the auspices of Customs and Border Patrol, whether it was ICE or the Border Patrol. They said he was providing aid to an undocumented person or persons, and putting water out there and serving water or leaving food, that is not a crime. He was not bringing the people across the border or anything like that, and it's just outrageous.
Not only did he not bring people across the border, he didn't speak to anybody ahead of time and say, hey, when you cross the border and you go to this coordinate, here's the water. Okay, he was literally just leaving water out in the fields for anybody. It could have been in America. It could be anybody. I mean, my argument was anybody could drink the water. It doesn't have to necessarily be a migrant. Maybe I'm leaving it for Border Patrol. What do you see in terms of people coming across the border?
Well, it's not because of Trump. For the last 5.5 years, there's been a 40% decline in unauthorized migrants. Migrants are crossing a lot less because they're finding more work in Mexico.
Right.
They'd rather not come over here. So it's not because of Trump. It's because the economy is better elsewhere. However, people are still crossing. People are still crossing, and people are still dying. And what happens is that because of Trump, now this is where Trump comes in, because of Trump, people that like to practice hate are doing it more often, whether it's law enforcement, like the case of the smashed water bottles, or whether it's hate groups, like what we saw in Virginia or saw in San Diego this past weekend. That is a dramatic increase because of Trump's words. That leads to hate action.
And I agree with you, because he makes the political discourse in America accept some of this type of language and hate speech. Tell us about what happened this past weekend. It was in Chicano Park. What happened there?
Chicano Park is an iconic park here in San Diego. It's the heart of the Mexican community. Beautiful murals. Families go there. They bring their children, Aztec dancers, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, for the second time, because of the beautiful murals, the right-wing radio shows here did a call-out for people to go to Chicano Park, people that like to practice racism and hate,
right,
to cause trouble there, to actually cause trouble. That's the message. About 25 neo-Nazis showed up.
Right.
We had about 800 people. We were 800 people there, and they went there to chant and scream and say these very racist types of things. And we resisted by not, saying the same thing, but by just showing that we're there, that we love Chicano Park, that we love, whoever we are. But we also love this country. And that's one of the beautiful things about this country is the diversity. They're saying that, there should be only American flags and only white people and things like that. Well, 25 people with racist intentions go to Chicano Park to cause trouble. At Friendship Park, which is what I talked about last time,
right,
where we had an agreement with children to have their parents, now they're not even letting 25 people go there.
So tell us what Friendship Park is for those who didn't see you on our show last time.
Friendship Park is where the wall started in 1994 between San Diego and Tijuana. You have the Pacific Ocean right there. There's a park. There's a park right by the ocean there, and it's called Friendship Park, thanks to First Lady Pat Nixon. Back in 1971, she said, may this park never have a wall and people can come and celebrate and so forth. Well, in 1994, when they started building the wall, that split up Friendship Park. Families go there from both sides of the wall there to see each other. They haven't seen each other in 10, 15 years. They can go up to the wall, see each other, barely touch their fingertips. We were able to negotiate it, Border Angels and some other people, to have that park open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 2. There was groups of 25 people that would show up, and when we would do activities, etc. Well, as of last Saturday, the same day that the racist people were at Chicano Park, they changed the policies at Friendship Park.
Who changed this policy? Who is responsible for changing this policy?
The Friendship Park policy was changed by the new Border Patrol Chief, Rodney Scott. They say it's a security concern. And we're saying, wait a minute, you have 2,000 miles of wall, and that one place where the families meet, you're saying that is a security concern?
Now, let me ask you a question. Is anybody doing anything in the courts to try to rectify this?
I'm going to definitely challenge it.
I would challenge it, too. I agree with you. Any last words before we get back to trying to help immigrants who are already here in the United States?
Absolutely, that we shall overcome. We shall overcome, that even in the darkest moments of our history, a bright light will appear. And that bright light right now is so bright, and it's the dreamers. Yes. We got to make sure that we keep these dreamers here, that they continue DACA and they have a clean DREAM Act. Then let these 800,000 people be able to stay in this country without fear.
I agree. Well, thank you. Your work is very commendable. Keep up the great work, and hopefully we'll speak with you soon here on the Brad and Squee Show.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Enrique.
Love overcomes hate.
Yeah,
thank you.
I
Bye-bye.
agree. All right. Where there I am. Enrique Morones, Border Angels. He's doing an unbelievable job. I mean, literally giving his entire life and his career to just helping people. And then there's other people who give their life and career to hurting people. Literally kicking over water bottles. You know what? Yeah, you starve. You don't drink anything. Die in the desert. Bravo, Enrique. Bravo. All right. 1-800-529-5465. We got 12 open lines right now, so if you call, we will answer your immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. Call now with your immigration questions. It's Brad Son Squeeze, and it's light. It's light today because we're only broadcasting on one channel right now. A lot of people don't know that we're on this channel. We got, for those who are just joining us, you heard what happened with NBC, Universal, the O word, the woman who was doing triple indies, kicked us off our other page. But we'll be back on that page tomorrow. And in the meantime, we got 12 open lines. So if you call right now, you will get your immigration question asked and answered. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. You got 3 choices. I was going to say 2, but then I came up with a third. Really, most people do this, but I can't. For some reason, I do not have the dexterity in this finger, the 4th finger, the ring finger, to keep it up and keep my pinky down. So most people do this, 3, like this. But I have to do it like this because I can't keep this. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Everyone says that's kind of like weird. Why can't I do that? I don't know. I was never able to do it. Something you learn about Brad every day. You never thought you'd learn that one, huh? 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Please leave your questions on Facebook. We're going to have the beautiful Patrice come back and join us in about 10, 12 minutes or so to finish up all of your Facebook questions. So please leave your questions on Facebook and we will be answering them for you. You can also give us a call at 1-800-529-5465. In the meantime, right after I spoke with Enrique Moronis, I had also spoken to a fabulous attorney by the name of Megan Buckwalter. Megan Buckwalter is our matrimonial attorney. And we talked about, I'm going to show you what we talked about, but we talked about what is the difference between physical custody and legal custody. And by the way, we talk about that all the time as it pertains to immigration, especially derivative citizenship. Because in a derivative citizenship, when you're claiming derivative citizenship, you're a child who's claiming derivative citizenship through your parents, the law says that you have to be in the physical custody and the legal custody of the U.S. citizen parent prior to the 18th birthday to derive your U.S. citizenship automatically. So what does all of this mean? Because I'm always explaining, well, maybe you had physical custody but not legal custody. Maybe you had legal custody but not physical custody. Megan is here to break it all down. Let's watch. When you're getting divorced, people don't realize that there's 2 different types of custody. There's physical custody and then there's legal custody. And those 2 different custodies give you different types of rights and different responsibilities in your child's life, and also gives you different types of legal ramifications in your divorce proceedings or your family court proceedings. It even gives you different ramifications when it comes to immigration and other areas of law. For example, when you want to make a child a derivative citizen, you need to show that you are living in the physical custody with your child and you have legal custody. Those are 2 different concepts. So with us today is Megan Buckwalter. She's a fabulous matrimonial and divorce attorney here in New York and Connecticut. She is a super lawyer, and she is here to break down everything you need to know about the differences in custody, especially the differences between physical custody and legal custody. So Megan, how are you?
I'm good, Brad. How are you?
Great. So let's talk physical custody and legal custody. What's the difference?
Absolutely. Physical custody is who has the child living with them more than 50% of the time. So the parties can have joint physical custody, but that's not very common because it takes a lot of cooperation between the parents, and it also generally requires that the parents live very close to one another. So usually one parent has sole physical custody. And if they have sole physical custody, that means that the child is with them more than 50% of the time.
Even if they have visitation rights or go to live with the other parent for the weekends?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can have sole physical custody to, say, the father, and then the mother would have visitation. She could have every weekend, every other weekend. There's all different types of arrangements that can be made, but whoever has the child 51% of the time, say, is the person that has sole physical custody.
So now what is the difference between that and legal custody?
Sure. Legal custody is completely different. Legal custody has to do with who has the legal authority to make major decisions for the child. So that usually has to do with education, religion, and medical decisions. The parties can have joint legal custody, but they have to agree to that. The courts would never force 2 parents who don't get along to have joint legal custody.
So you could have joint legal custody, you could have, but only one person would have physical custody. There's no such thing as joint physical custody unless the parents, I guess, are living together in the same household.
No, you could have joint physical custody. It's just it's much less common. So if they truly split the time 50-50, it does happen here and there. It means that, each week is split. Sometimes it's a 3-4-4-3 schedule where you're rotating days. It just takes so much cooperation and coordination between the parents that it's usually not in the child's best interest for the parents to have joint physical custody.
Now, just in immigration, I was just saying before you came on, that's very important. And this is not only important in a matrimonial situation, it's not only important in your life situation with your child, it's also important in other areas of law, what happens in family court. For example, in immigration law, to derive citizenship through a U.S. citizen parent, you have to prove physical and legal custody. And those are two different things. So physical custody, you got to prove you live with the parent who's the citizen, if you're under 18, more than 50% of the time. And also that parent has legal custody, something signed by a judge.
Right, yeah, it's very important. It's important, too, that you know what you need if you're also going to be pursuing an immigration matter, because the orders need to be very explicit that you get out of family court. So that's why it's helpful to come to a firm like ours where you have that cross between immigration department and the family law department, where we can sort of coordinate to make sure any orders you get out of family court are going to also help you in your immigration matter.
Correct. So now how do they determine, let's say somebody goes into court, okay, and both parents want physical custody. It happens a lot. Both parents want legal custody. They're at each other, fighting with each other. How do they determine? How's the court determine? How do you as an attorney try to convince a court to give your client the physical custody, to give your client the legal custody?
Absolutely. So, the way it's determined generally, if we're not settling between the parties, is we have a trial. And the legal standard that the courts look at in family court is the best interest of the child. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. Some of the factors are who has historically been the primary caretaker of the child, maintaining stability for the child, if they have other siblings, where do the siblings live, any history of domestic violence or alcohol or drug abuse, any ACS cases. There's a lot of factors that the court can look at.
So you have to basically, in all of those factors, I guess it boils down to who's going to be the better parent.
Correct.
Right?
It all comes down, it comes down to what the court calls the best interest of the child, and that really is who's going to promote the best interest of that child, so who will be a better parent and who will foster a relationship with the other parent best.
So I'm sure you've had many situations where you had to go in and fight for both the legal custody and physical custody of one parent over another parent who also wanted the legal and physical custody. Tell us about some of the stories that you've had or some of the issues that you've seen in court and how hopefully it came out successful for your client.
Sure. It's funny, we had a client come in recently who actually came in for a child support issue, and in discussing the time he spent with his child and the sort of schedule he had, I realized that in reality, despite the fact that he was paying child support to the mother, he really was the de facto custodial parent. He had the child more than 50% of the time and should not have been paying child support. Once I spoke with him about this, he realized that he did want to fight for custody. He basically already had it in fact, so why not have the legal document to support that? And we had to go to court and prove that he is the better parent suited to have sole physical custody.
Why was he the better parent? Just because just because he physically had the kid more, or we had to show more than that?
More than that. We showed that he was the parent who brought her to school, who picked her up from school, who coordinated homework, who did play dates and extracurricular activities. He took her to the doctor's appointments. He basically made sure everything that she needed was met, and she basically was sleeping at mom's house and sometimes having some weekend visitation with mom, but he really was the one that coordinated her day-to-day activities and made sure that she was a successful little girl in school.
So not only was he dad, but he apparently was Mr. Mom as well. And by the way, in this day and age, it's not so simple that the mother always gets the child anymore. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. The gender of the parent really doesn't come into play. It's just which parent is going to better foster the child's best interest. And here it's funny because this client really didn't know that he was the custodial parent. I mean, he was paying child support for a child that he was not only financially taking care of, but was taken care of on a day-to-day basis. So that's why it's important to come in and speak with lawyers, because he didn't come in for custody in any way, and we ended up having a custody trial for him, and he won physical and legal custody of his daughter.
Well, that's a great job, and I'm glad you're able to point that out. Megan Buckwalter, fantastic matrimonial attorney here at Spar and Bernstein. Thank you for joining us here on our show. I really appreciate it. For anybody who needs to reach Megan for both New York and Connecticut matrimonial issues, divorce issues, child support, visitation, paternity, anything to do with family court, Megan should be your attorney. She's fabulous. Give her a call right now at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Megan, fabulous job as always. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. I'm just reading the comments here as we were running our matrimonial segment. I'm going to remember this, Cordella. I will remember this, Cordella. She writes, it brings me joy for Brad to be stressed. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cordella. Always good to Cordella. Always good to her. I don't know why she wants to see me stressed out. Why? Cordella. All right, so we're going to do this Braducation video now. We obviously have nobody on hold. If you do want to call, give us a call right now, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Tomorrow we'll be back broadcasting on Spar and Bernstein, God willing. That's where we have 70+ thousand followers, not on the Brown Squeeze Show that has 1,100 followers, and we should get all our numbers back up. But right now, let's watch our Braducation video. If you have any immigration questions, give us a call right now, 1-800-529-5465. I also want to bring back the beautiful Patrice, but the beautiful Patrice says we have no questions there either. I could just sit there and talk about nothing. This will be a show about nothing. I don't want that to happen. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go and watch our Braducation.
Can you travel with your work permit?
You can travel within the United States with a work permit, but if you want to travel outside of the United States, they will not allow you back in with a work permit unless that work permit also doubles as an advance parole document. You see how thin I was there? I had the beard, but look how much thinner I was there. Can we run the Braducation again? I want everyone to see. Patrice, take the donuts out of my mouth. Are you listening, Patrice? Watch this Braducation again.
Can you travel with your work permit?
You can travel within the United States with a work permit, but if you want to travel outside of the United States, they will not allow you back in with a work permit unless that work permit also doubles as an advance parole document. You see? I'm not crazy. I gotta lose weight. 1-800-529-5465. By the way, Denisha John, you are not Brad, but you are correct. Bravo. Bravo, Denisha. Denisha listens. You can get married if she is... Tracy Haynes asked, hey, Brad, I have a friend from Guyana who wants to know if she can... I'm doing Patrice's job. I'm sorry, Patrice. It's okay. I'm doing Patrice's job. It says, I have a friend from Guyana who wants to know if she came to the United States on vacation to her boyfriend, if she could get married while on vacation or he needs to come to Guyana to get married. And Denisha John answers, Tracy, 90 days after she arrives, she can get married. And then Denisha says a little bit later, but I'm not Brad. You are not Brad, but you are correct because you do listen. Bravo to you, Denisha John. That is correct. If you come 90 days, remember this, 90 days after you come. The hell was that? Like, what the hell was that? 90 days after she comes, she can get married. If she get married before 90 days, you have an issue, and the reason is they're going to deny you for misrepresentation. So please make sure you get married after 90 days, not before 90 days. What else we have here? Carlette Harrison asks, I'm a United States citizen. If I file for my daughter who's 17, does she automatically become a citizen? She automatically becomes a citizen, and I hope you watched the physical and legal custody segment we just did. If she gets her green card before 18, and she's living with you in both physical and legal custody. And if you're not sure what that is, at the end of the show, go back and watch Megan and my discussion. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Jeff Bossy says if the seat's vacated, he wants to intern. You got to send us your sizzle tape first, Jeff. We got to make sure you're the right person for the seat. 1-800-529-5465. Oh, wow. Jeff Bossy, you're no longer in the running to be the intern, Jeff. Oh, wow, definitely putting on the Chris Christie pounds. No longer in the running. You're supposed to say, no, Brad, you look okay. Don't worry about it. Lisa Bling-Rose says, it looks like Brad has a hot date tonight. He's very happy. I do not have a hot date tonight. I'm actually going home to myself tonight. Just quite frankly, just a crazy day. And we got kicked off our show on our other page, so I'm just acting a little zany today. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Patrice. Patrice! No Patrice. All right, it's one of those days. Maybe NBC Universal kicked Patrice off the air as well. Was Patrice? What are we laughing about? Was Patrice? I think she got kicked off by NBC Universal as well.
I'm here, Brad.
Wait, where? Oh, there you are. Hello. All right. Do we have any last questions, or did I read them all off?
Yes, I have one question for you.
Okay, what is it?
Rose Delva, a spouse of a citizen can file after 3 years of being married, 3 years from the first green card, or 3 years or after the 10-year.
3 years. 10 years. Talking about citizenship, it's 3 years from the first green card.
And that looks like that's
it. That looks like it. Do you know we have a lawyer by the name of Moshe, the caged animal? You know that caged animal?
Best of the best.
You know that caged animal, Moshe?
Yes, we all know him very well.
All right, so he did a little segment with us on no-fault insurance. Let's watch.
Check it out.
We're going to find Moshe.
Yes. Moshe!
Good morning, David and Brad.
Good morning.
Hello!
I know it's afternoon, but good morning is fine too.
So Moshe is one of our fantastic trial attorneys. He's a personal injury attorney here in New York. He's handled multiple cases for trial. Mm-hmm. And one of the most important things you got to know when you get into a car accident is no-fault law. Okay. What is no-fault law?
Yeah, what is that all about?
What is that all about?
So no fault, and New York's not the only state who contributes to that. No fault basically says
but you're talking about New York State now, but there's no fault in almost every. Right. There's no fault in New Jersey. Every state, the laws are a little different, but we're talking about New York State, no fault. But the general no fault. The idea is the same.
The idea is basically the same. Right. The idea is basically the same. Regardless of whose fault an accident is, your insurance company will indemnify you. In other words, reimburse you for any medical expenses relating to the motor vehicle accident, or lost wages, regardless, again, of whose fault the accident was.
Meaning no fault. It doesn't matter. You could have slammed into somebody. Your medical bills are still getting paid. So what's the catch? So if I slam into somebody, and let's say I hit squeeze, okay? I just ram into him from behind. Wait, let's say I'm in my car and we get into a collision from behind. That's a much better way to phrase it. So let's say I just saw his face. So let's say that happens. Okay, I'm in a car and we get into a collision. It's usually, in the legal term, he's going to look at me. It's called the rear end collision. And what happens now? Like, I'm at fault. My medical bills are getting paid. Squeeze is not at fault. His medical bills are getting paid. It's called no fault. So what's the catch in all of this?
So how it works is, in that hypothetical scenario, you rear-end David's squeeze.
Wait,
your insurance company.
Wait. I get into a collision with him. Okay.
So your motor vehicle rear-ends David's motor vehicle, right?
Yes.
All right. So it's your fault, clearly, right? Absent any exceptional circumstances.
Is that really
Your
true?
insurance company-
If you run into the back of someone's car, the person who runs in the person's car,
it's always there.
Is that? I've heard that for years. Is that always true?
Here's the catch. Here's the exception. If you are cutting somebody off and then that person rear-ends you, that's an exception. There's liability on the person who cut that person.
Or if it's an emergency situation.
Right, sometimes.
Right.
Depends on the emergency.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So your insurance
no matter
company
what.
would cover.
Well, basically, you rear-end somebody. The person who's getting rear-ended is always the non-negligent party. The person who's doing the rear-ending is usually the negligent person.
So continuing, in that hypothetical scenario, Brad,
Yes.
your insurance company would cover your lost wages, if you have any, if you were forced to come out of work.
Right.
Any time out of work, up to 80% of your lost wages are covered.
Right.
And your medical bills are covered, up to $50,000 generally. Now, you can always elect.
Right, so now some people can bring a lawsuit, other people can't. Who can, who can't? That's the catch.
Right. So no fault is one thing, right? Medical expenses and lost wages are one thing. Now, if you're trying to get compensated for your conscious pain and suffering, there are restrictions. In New York, you have to suffer what's called, quote unquote, serious injury. Now, serious injury is defined by the New York State. You know, anybody can say, I suffered a serious injury. It's not subjective. It's actually objective. And what you need to show are several things. For example, if you lost a fetus at the during the accident, and if you're a woman, obviously, then you automatically suffered a serious injury, which means any other injuries that stem from that loss of a fetus are automatically admissible into any evidence to claim for conscious pain and suffering, right? Significant disfigurement is another factor. Automatically you pass threshold. A fracture of any sort, bone fracture, and you can even argue nowadays that a tooth fracture constitutes a fracture pursuant to New York state law.
So who doesn't get it? Who doesn't get it?
Minor headaches, scratches that don't form scars, cannot be compensated for conscious pain and suffering in a motor vehicle accident as a result of a scratch or minor headaches.
What about somebody who goes back to work in 30 days?
Well, that depends. So there are certain factors. If you suffered a significant limitation of your body, like such as your neck or your lower back, you can go back to work after 30 days. It'll be a little bit more difficult to establish serious injury in that hypothetical scenario.
What if you go back to work before 30 days?
Go back to work the next day.
Again, it's very difficult to establish serious injury if you go immediately back to work after your accident. But here at Spar and Bernstein, we've had instances where people went back to work and we recovered money for them.
What if the doctor says stay out of work for more than 90 days and you do it?
So, in New York, if you stay out of work for at least 90 days immediately after the accident, immediately after, so you can't take any breaks, you've automatically, well, not automatically, but you've arguably suffered a serious injury threshold.
All right, Moshe, tell us about a case you handled.
Quick one.
We only have about a minute.
I know, but for this reimbursement for medical, loss of wages, when do you get that money? What if I'm put out of work, I'm not getting a paycheck, when do I get that money?
So it depends on the lawyers. Lawyers have to work very quickly to get you reimbursed. The no-fault carrier will reimburse you for your lost wages. You get that usually bi-weekly. You'll get a check from your insurance company up to 80% of your lost wages.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, tell us about a quick case, and then I want to have Bernadette talk about Moshe and how happy she was to end the show. Quickly, you got
one
about a minute.
typical example is we had a case where there was no damage to any. You're hypothetical rear end and a highway, very very low speed, practically like 3-4 miles an hour. When you let go of your brakes and then you rear end somebody, that's the situation our client had. Not a single scratch to either motor vehicle. He had some herniations and bulges in his lumbar spine. Went back to work. And in a typical situation, and so he did a few months of physical therapy, one epidural injection, and right before we went to trial, the offer was $500.
$500. Squeeze.
Okay.
I know this.
And obviously, Spar and Bernstein, we don't settle for cases that little. So what we did was we prepared for trial, and we got the jury to award us almost $160,000.
Bravo! Bravo!
Moshe, our personal injury attorney.
$500.
Kicking ass.
$160,000. There you go. There's our applause. Moshe, we gotta go. but it's the same telephone number to call Moshe for personal injury as it is to call Brad Bernstein for immigration, as it is to call Spar and Bernstein, as it is to call criminal defense, tax, and divorce. 1-800-529-5465. Save that number in your phone. Dial it right now. 1-800-529-5465. You never know when you're going to need a good attorney. You're looking at good attorneys right now. You're listening to good attorneys. 1-800-529-5465. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Moshe, awesome job. We got to get out of here.
Thank you so much. And thanks to USA Credit Repair for partnering.
And thank you, USA Credit Repair. All right, so we have only a couple minutes left. Let's go to Yvonne in Williamsburg. Yvonne.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Okay, I got married in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Williamsburg, but I need to go to Myrtle Beach to work.
You got married in Virginia, and what's the problem?
Yes, I need to go to work.
Uh-huh.
In Myrtle Beach.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, would that be a problem if I do my medical in Myrtle Beach?
Because of what? You're calling me from
Okay,
Williamsburg,
if I do my
Virginia. You can do your medical anywhere you want, but you got to live with your husband. It's more important that you live. It's more important that you live together. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys you did your medical, and as long as it was by an immigration approved doctor, it could be done in Alaska for all we care. As long as you and your husband are living together is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then that's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome. Best of luck. All right. 1-800-529-5465. Let's find Patrice. Patrice, what do we got left?
Yes, we have 3 questions.
All right.
One of them is a repeat. I think she wasn't here during the time, so I'll read that for you.
Okay.
Natalie Bartley. I have a cousin of mine from Jamaica who tried to use a passport that was not her name to enter the United States, and she went back to the airport, and it was taking so long that they held her overnight. Her flights were delayed. What is her chances to get a visa to visit? However, she met her boyfriend, who was a United States citizen, while he was on vacation to Jamaica. Can she get a visa to visit him?
No, she can marry him while he's on vacation to Jamaica, and he can file for her because she needs a waiver for a deportation at the airport and misrepresentation on a fake document. But she's not going to get a visa.
And Trenty Halley, Brad, my friend did her biometric in January. When should she expect her permit? Her work permit?
By April.
And the lovely Tamika Nelson has a question for us, and she is asking for a friend.
I thought you were going to say, let's say hypothetically I marry this guy by the name of Kevin. Now, Kevin lives in another country, and I'm here. What should I do? All right, what is her question?
That's okay. I'm asking for a friend. She got her work permit, but hasn't worked on the books. Is this going to be a problem for her when she goes on the interview?
No, but she's going to pay her tax returns at the end of the year, whether she's on the books or not.
There you go, Tamika. Give that to your friend.
All right. So it has been quite an adventure. We started on the Facebook page of the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. 15 minutes into the show, we get kicked off because we decide to put up a video of a figure skater. And we're just discussing that she did the triple, double, quadruple, whatever she did. And we get kicked off. The triple axel. Only 3 people have ever done it. We were congratulating her. Apparently we can't do that. You're not allowed to congratulate anybody, Patrice. We will never congratulate anybody again. So we quickly thought this through. While Facebook says we can't go back on law offices of Spar and Bernstein until 8:45 this evening, we quickly thought it through, and we started broadcasting on the Brad and Squeeze show, although this is the Brad San Squeeze edition today. We will be back live tomorrow on the law offices of Spar and Bernstein page, God willing, Facebook willing, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good job, Patrice.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?